Hi guys, and welcome back to Movies That Matter with the Viking. Earlier on, I was getting ready to do my video on Jeffrey Dean Morgan returning as Thomas Wayne in the Flash solo film in 2022. But some interesting news has also broke about Michael Keaton returning, which I'll do in a separate video. But this kind of blows everything out of the water in terms of in what capacity will Jeffrey Dean Morgan return as Thomas Wayne in the Flash film, and that's what I'm going to talk about here now. Do I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan will have a big part to play in the Flash solo film? Originally, I thought he would, in terms of the Flashpoint paradox of him being Thomas Wayne, being the Batman of that universe. But now with Michael Keaton coming back, he of course can still play Thomas Wayne, but Michael Keaton is a bigger star than Jeffrey Dean Morgan in terms of playing these characters. He played Batman in two successful Batman films. Jeffrey Dean Morgan had a cameo in Batman vs Superman. But I want to talk about in what way Jeffrey Dean Morgan can return. I'm going to guess that it's going to be a cameo-like role. And even this news has been shared around the place by lots of people, credible people, who saying he is going to return, and I hope he does. I'm a big fan of him. He's a big, seasoned actor who has appeared in amazing TV shows, big TV shows like Grey's Anatomy, Supernatural, and The Walking Dead, of course, and big movies also. He is a very, very good actor, and I think he would be brilliant as this dark version of Thomas Wayne, a Batman that is ruthless and gone crazy over the death of his son Bruce and his wife becoming the Joker. There's such a cool, interesting, dynamic, complex story that you could tell that gets me so excited. But if Michael Keaton is returning in, say, a Nick Fury-like role, that's okay. Jeffrey Dean Morgan can still return. He can still come across the Flash. It doesn't have to be a 20, 30 minute, 50 minute, hour long appearance in the Flash film. No, it doesn't have to be. I never expected it to be anyway. All it needs to be is a 5, 10, 15 minute scene, maybe even less, of him appearing as Batman, as Thomas Wayne, making a very emotional scene with the Flash, talking about how Bruce is still alive. And maybe he writes a letter and he gives it to Flash to give to Bruce, just like he did in the Flashpoint paradox film. The Flash is such an interesting character because he can manipulate time, he can change time, he can go to different Earths. And with Michael Keaton coming back as Batman, and also with Ben Affleck's Batman there to use also if they want, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan's Batman, this is just a wet dream as a Batman fan, seeing all these different incarnations and all these different possibilities. But Jeffrey Dean Morgan returning was reported by a lot of reliable people the other day, and I do believe those reliable people, and I do think he will return in this film. Even Jeffrey Dean Morgan's wife was sharing posts about him coming back in the Flash film with love hearts, so maybe she knows him, maybe that's confirming it also. So Jeffrey Dean Morgan's role in the Flash solo film, I think it will be slight. I think it will be a cameo, an extended cameo per se. I think he will be in a nice part of that film, but I do not think he will have as big as a role as Michael Keaton will, because he is more known as portraying that character. Michael Keaton, very good Batman, regarded by some as the best Batman. Jeffrey Dean Morgan had a cameo, so you have to be sensible here in what way you approach this. But I'm all for seeing both of them come into it, and I would love to see that emotional scene as I talked about with Flash and with Jeffrey Dean Morgan's Batman, Bruce or Thomas Wayne, talking about that Bruce is still alive in another timeline, and Martha's the one that died and you're the one that died. I think that could be a very deep emotional scene. And maybe an interesting scene after that would be with Ezra Miller's Flash talking to Michael Keaton's Batman. How do I tell Bruce about this? How do I go about this? Do I tell him? So there's so many cool possibilities, and I don't know what way Michael Keaton's going to come back. I don't expect him to be coming back as a Batman that's kicking ass and beating up bad guys. I expect him to be a calm, educated Batman in terms of what he's gone through as the Caped Crusader over the years, and giving these life lessons to the Flash and in terms of a mentor. Now Ben Affleck as Batman, I think, will solely appear on HBO Max in Zack Snyder's Justice League. He could make a cameo in the DCU on screen, but I think that's going to be kept from Michael Keaton. As I said, the multiverse is what we're in now at DC. It's not the DCEU in terms of the way we knew it. It's the multiverse where things are connected in so many different ways. But people are getting confused. Just go with it. Enjoy this. Don't try and connect everything. Don't try and do what Marvel are doing, connecting every single dot. Just go and enjoy this. I am glad Jeffrey Dean Morgan is coming back as the Dark Knight, as Thomas Wayne in some capacity, in some way. And it gets me really, really excited for that Flash solo film in 2022. What else is going to get announced? Could we see Christian Bale come back? Could we see Ben Affleck make an appearance? Could we see George Clooney? Who knows? But all I know is that Jeffrey Dean Morgan is coming back as Thomas Wayne, and Michael Keaton is also coming back. But let me know, guys, what you think of Thomas Wayne, of Jeffrey Dean Morgan portraying the character again. And remember, he's a Zack Snyder incarnation of this character. It's from Zack's vision, and now Zack's vision is going to be on HBO Max. But let me know, guys, in the comments what you think it is. Give a like, comment, subscribe. And until next time, guys, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is coming back as Batman, and so is Michael Keaton.